Good day, everyone. Welcome to another lecture on question, answers, and why. And for today, we will be focusing on the subject animal science. So we have 5 questions, and without further ado, let's start off with question number 1. What is the most important factor associated with seasonal breeding? Will that be the age of the animals, the nutritional status of the animals, the species characteristics, or photo period? So before we can answer this question, we need to understand ano ba ang seasonal breeding. And technically speaking, seasonal breeding is a situation wherein the reproductive cycles of the animal is influenced by changes in the length of daylight. So ibig sabihin yan, yung kanilang heat cycle ng hayop ay naaapektuhan ng haba ng daylight. Okay, the length of daylight. So may mga hayop kasi na kapag mahaba ang araw, doon sila they are more likely to breed. Kapag naman maikli ang araw, may mga ibang hayop din that more likely to breed kapag maikli ang araw. So it has something to do with the hormone melatonin. Now, melatonin is a sleep-wake hormone. Meron din yan sa tao. But simply put, melatonin is something na nagpapaantok sa atin. So, for example, nagtitake ako ng melatonin kapag hindi ako makatulog. So, ang melatonin na to, kapag mahaba ang gabi, mataas ang production ng melatonin. Kapag naman maikli lang yung gabi, mababa ang production ng melatonin. So, for example, sa mga sheep and goats, ang term natin sa mga sheep and goats ay short day breeders. Now, kapag short ang umaga, anong nangyayari sa gabi? Right? Yung ratio ng gabi sa umaga, if the day is short, then night is long. Therefore, melatonin production is increasing sa mga short day breeders. Now, when melatonin production increases sa mga short day breeders, natitrigger din dyan yung pag-produce ng sexual hormones nila that allows them to exhibit sexual behavior, getting them ready for breeding. Okay? Now, opposite naman yung nangyayari sa mga horses. Ang horses natin, we term them as long day breeders. So kapag mahaba ang umaga, maikli ang gabi. Kapag maikli ang gabi, less ang production ng melatonin. So yung less production ng melatonin sa kanilang katawan also triggers naman the production of sexual hormones within their body, allowing them to exhibit sexual behaviors. So kapag tinanong rin kayo sa exam kung anong example ng long day breeders, one example, classic example would be horses, and short day breeders are goats and sheep. Now that we know kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng seasonal breeding and ano ulit yung factor that affects it, length of daylight, we can now answer the question here. So alin kaya sa mga choices na to pertains to the length of daylight? Is it the age of animals? No. Nutritional status of animals? No. The species characteristics? No. Photo period? Exactly. So photo period is it means yung ratio ng day and night. So kapag mas mahaba ang day mo, kapag mas mahaba ang day, that's long day. Kapag naman shorter ang day, that's short day. So question number 1, ang sagot dyan is letter D, photo period. Question number 2, which hormone is responsible for the rupture of fully grown follicles in the ovary? Will that be progesterone, letter B, luteinizing hormone, C, estrogen, or D, follicle stimulating hormone? So before we can answer that, syempre, we need to understand yung process ng ovulation or yung pag-release ng egg from the follicles going to the fallopian tube. So kasi kapag nag-rupture yung follicles, ilalabas niya yung itlog dyan, and yung itlog ay magta-travel sa fallopian tube. So, bibigyan ko kayo ng short summary on how this happens. So basically, merong hormone sa utak ng babaeng hayop na gonadotropin-releasing hormone ang tawag. This is being released in the hypothalamus, part of the brain of the animals. So itong hormone na to, gonadotropin-releasing hormone, it releases two hormones, which is the luteinizing hormone and follicle-stimulating hormone. So unahin natin yung function ni follicle-stimulating hormone. Si follicle-stimulating hormone, ang pinaka-function niya is to produce lots and lots of follicles in the ovary of the animals. So yan, maraming follicles. So sa follicles na yan, dyan manggagaling yung itlog ng animal. Pero hindi lahat ng follicles na to ay magpuproduce ng itlog. Okay? So ang role lang ni FSH is to produce the follicles, kumbaga yung container ng itlog. But then comes now the hormone called luteinizing hormone. Si luteinizing hormone, ang pinaka-role niya ay pumili, at some point, that's how we can think of, pumili ng follicle that would be dominant. So, ibig sabihin, isa sa mga follicle na to would be dominant, it will grow bigger, and that would contain the egg soon. Now, if that follicle will become dominant, that dominant follicle will start to produce estrogen. Primarily, specifically, estradiol. Ngayon, itong estrogen na to, siya yung magsisignal sa hayop na, oy, on heat ka na. So, you need to exhibit sexual behavior para kapag may nakakita sa yung lalaki, pwede ka na niyang kamate and makapag-produce ng offspring. Yun yung function ni estrogen na isa sa hayop. Pangalawang function ni estrogen is that it would trigger the hypothalamus to produce more gonadotropin-releasing hormone. O, diba? So, dahil more yung gonadotropin-releasing hormone na napoproduce, ibig sabihin yan, more LH and FSH yung mapoproduce. Tama? Mali. Okay? So, for this time, mali. Kasi, si estrogen magpuproduce nga, tama, ng estradiol, but at the same time, magpuproduce din siya ng hormone called inhibin, that would inhibit the production of FSH. So yes, pinapataas niya yung production ng gonadotropin-releasing hormone, but at the same time, ini-inhibit niya yung production ng FSH. So what happens now? Yung LH, magkakaroon siya ng surge of gonadotropin-releasing hormone. So tataas yung production ng LH. So yung LH, ang pinaka-function niya, palakihin yung dominant follicle. So lalaki ng lalaki yan up until such time as magra-rupture yung follicle na yan and magre-release siya ng egg papunta sa fallopian tube ng hayop. Okay? So yung LH is now responsible for the rupturing of the follicle, of the dominant follicle in the ovary, releasing the egg. Now, when this follicle ruptures, nagke-create yan ng tinatawag nating yellow body, which we term as corpus luteum. So, magkakaroon ng yellow body, corpus luteum ang tawag natin dyan. Si corpus luteum naman, magpuproduce siya ng hormone called progesterone. And ano yung function ng progesterone? It is the pregnancy hormone. It will thicken the lining of the uterus. So, getting ready for pregnancy. Now, what happens is, kapag may pumasok na sperm dyan, finertilize niya yung egg, yung na-fertilize na egg na yan will go down to the uterus, and doon na magsisimula yung pagkabuntis ng hayop. However, kapag hindi na-fertilize yung egg, what happens is yung uterus magsisend ng signal back to the corpus luteum, and yung corpus luteum ay mamamatay, magiging corpus albicans. And what happens kapag menstruating yung hayop, yung thick lining ng uterus magsi-shred yan, and yun yung magiging blood na lalabas sa vagina, or kung hindi naman menstruating yung hayop, i-absorb lang yan basically ng katawan, and the process will then repeat. Okay? So hopefully maayos yung explanation ko, yung short explanation ko on these hormones that is responsible basically to the ovulation of the female animal. Now, question, anong hormone yung responsable sa rupture of fully grown follicles releasing the egg? Nabanggit ko kanina. Ano yon? It would be luteinizing hormone. Okay? Kasi ang progesterone, pregnancy hormone yan. Okay? Na-release na yung egg. Nag-rupture na yung follicle bago yan maiproduce. Ang estrogen, hindi pa nag-rupture yung fully grown follicles during this time. Ang follicle-stimulating hormone, ang purpose lang yan is mag-produce ng follicles that would be containers for the egg. Okay. Question number 3. This is the height where the automatic water for growing pigs is placed. Would that be 18 to 20 centimeters, 10 to 12 centimeters, 40 to 45, 30 to 35 centimeters from the floor? So ano ba kasi yung rule of thumb kapag naglalagay tayo ng automatic waterer para painuman ng mga baboy? Well, basically, ang gusto natin, yung baboy ay hindi na mag-i-exert ng a lot of effort or strain sa kanyang katawan para makainom. So, for example, itong image na to, kung mapapansin nyo, yung baboy mo nakatingala, hirap na hirap uminom. So, may unnecessary strain sa kanyang neck, back part, say. And at the same time, kapag ganito yung na-experience siya every time na iinom siya, baka ma-discourage siyang uminom and hindi siya ngayon iinom, which would affect yung kanyang overall health. So, ang gusto natin, something like this. Okay? Yung baboy mo, relax lang kapag iinom, so nasa shoulder level yung kanilang yung automatic waterer for them. So, ano yung general rule? Ang general rule is, yung automatic waterer from the floor should be equivalent to the average height of grower pigs. Average shoulder height, of grower pigs. So, average shoulder height ng grower pigs, doon din daw dapat ilalagay yung automatic waterer. So, ibig sabihin, ang sagot dyan is yung average height nga ng grower pigs, which is 18 to 20 centimeters from the floor. So, 10 to 12, masyado po yung mababa. 40 to 45 and 30 to 35, masyado namang mataas, causing unnecessary stress or causing unnecessary strain doon sa hayop, doon sa baboy, every time na umiinom sila. So, yun yung rationale nung height na to. Question number 4. A type of flooring usually preferred for larger pigs. Is it dirt, slab, concrete, or all? So, among A, B, and C, may choice dyan na hindi nakasali. That would be my tip. And alin dyan yung choice na hindi nakasali? A choice that is not a type of flooring, yung slab. Okay? Kasi ano nga ba, sir, ang slab? Ang slab is basically a flat structure sa isang building na pwedeng maging floor. So, pwede yung maging floor kasi apakan ng tao dito. But at the same time, kapag multi-level ka, pwede rin siyang maging ceiling. So, slab is basically a flat surface. A flat surface that is part of the building and it is not a type of flooring. So, given that, i-eliminate na natin itong choice na to. Now, kapag na-eliminate yung choice na slab, hindi na nagme-make sense na kasama pa yung choice na D. Tama? Hindi na kasama dapat yung all kasi hindi na nga kasama yung slab. Therefore, hindi na kasama yung letter D na all choice. So, we are now left with dirt and we are now left with concrete. So, again, the question is, what is preferred for large, malalaking baboy? So, let's go with this image. So, ito is a dirt flooring. Okay? So, this one is a dirt flooring. And kung mapapansin nyo, ano yung mga advantages ng dirt flooring? Una, it's cost-effective. Kasi hindi ka nagagastos. Basta may dirt part ka doon sa farm mo, pwede na. And pangalawa, it exhibit the natural. It exhibit the natural environment of the pigs itself. So, ibig sabihin, nakakapaglaro sila doon. They can run. Soft yung floor, basically. And this is really good, especially for young pigs. Kung saan makukulit pa sila, takbo sila ng takbo. The problem with dirt flooring is kapag naglagay ka ng malaking baboy dyan, yung malaking baboy na yun might be has a tendency to injure themselves. Why? Well, unang-una, yung dirt floor hindi hindi fully flat yung surface na yan. So may mga bumpy spaces dyan that would probably hit yung legs ng large pig mo and matatapilok sila or magkakaroon ng unnecessary injury sa kanilang legs. Pangalawa, kapag masyadong malaki yung baboy mo, ang tendency niyan, lumulubog yung kanilang paa dito sa lupa. And that would, of course, also result to unnecessary leg injury doon sa hayop. So, dirt flooring is not intended for large pigs. It can be for small pigs, but for large pigs, it will cause them unnecessary injury. So ano ngayon ang prefer kapag large pigs? Ang prefer natin is concrete flooring. Kung saan flat, it is stable, kayang-kayang buhatin yung kanilang weight, and at the same time, as much as we can, walang any bumps that would cause any leg injury doon sa malaking baboy natin. So given that, the correct answer for this question, what type of flooring is preferred for large pigs, is concrete flooring. Last question, a young turkey is called a poult, chick, cygnet, or gosling. Now let's see yung mga photos ng mga to. So ito ay chick. Okay? Batang chicken. Ito naman ay gosling. Ryan Gosling. Joke lang. Batang goose is called gosling. This one, we term this as cygnet. And a cygnet is batang swan. Okay? Cygnet is a term to describe a young swan. And this one, of course, yung pinakakamukha ng turkey, ang tawag natin dyan ay poult. Therefore, the correct answer is letter A, poult. A young turkey is called a poult.